Hey guys, it's MikeMan WBA here, and welcome back for the final day of Super Strong Style 17 in the Can't Stop Progress series. First of all, I just want to apologise first for the fact that this episode is a little bit later than I said it would be. I was just really busy, and then I've developed a cold as well. So if I sound a bit crappy during this video, I apologise for that. I've just got a really blocked nose at the moment, and a bit of a cough. But I wanted to get this out there for you because I'm really enjoying this save, and I just want to plough on with it and just carry on with it. So recording this, a little bit under the weather, but hopefully it doesn't take too much away from the video. So we're just going to get straight in. And for the first time ever, I have forgotten to put Jim Smallman's entrance in, but I'm not going to go back and do it because I've already done the intro and it was a minute long. And we're just going to go straight in. We're just going to pretend it's there, but we're going to go straight into our first match, which is the first semi-final match of the Super Strong Style 16 tournament, where in a decent match, Mark Haskins defeated Joe Coffey in 13 minutes and 9 seconds by pinfall with a cradle to the grave, and that match got us off to a strong start, a 41D match. Joe Coffey with a 38, Mark Haskins with a 45. No work improvements, but Mark Haskins gets to the final of the Super Strong Style 16 tournament. He wants his title back. He never lost it. He had to vacate it through injury. He wants it back. He's gunning for Pete Dunne, and he's in the final, where he will face the winner of the next match, which will be Will Ospreay, where in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Will Ospreay defeats Jurn Simmons in 11 minutes and 25 by pinfall with a 630 splash. He had to bring it out to beat the big guy. Simmons with a 34, Ospreay with a 68, a 57 C- match, very good. Unfortunately, no work improvements, but another solid performance by Ospreay as he makes his way to the final. So that's 3 popular competitors he's beaten off so far to get into the final. Will he beat arguably one of the biggest faces in the company, probably only behind Jimmy Havoc at the moment? Before he came back from injury, he was probably the biggest face in the company, was Mark Haskins, when he was champion, and just before then when he was chasing the title. So we have a final for the Super Strong Style 16 tournament of Will Ospreay and Mark Haskins. It's going to be exciting. But before then, we go into our next match, a 5-on-5 elimination exhibition match, where I believe I wrote the order in here. Yeah. So, first of all, in a decent match, Leah Rush, Morgan Webster, William Eva, Fabian Eichner, and Shane Strickland defeated James Drake, Timothy Thatcher, Zach Gibson, Nathan Cruz, and JT Dunn in 13 minutes and 46 seconds when Morgan Webster finally defeated Zach Gibson by submission. So that's the order that the people were eliminated, and I didn't say who they were eliminated by, but you can see here at the end it was 2-on-2. Strickland gets eliminated, leaving Webster in there with Cruz and Gibson. Webster manages to eliminate Cruz, and then it's 1-on-1, Webster versus Gibson. A lot of history there from the natural progression series, not last year, the year before, so the 2015 natural progression series, which was of course won by Webster, but he then lost his title opportunity and the crown to Zach Gibson later on. I believe that might have been with some help from other members of the Origin. I can't remember off the top of my head. But Gibson, unfortunately, really off his game. So was JT Dunn. But Strickland with a 40, Eichner with a 32, Eva with a 35, Morgan Webster with a 42, Leah Rush, good to see him up there with a 44, the highest on that team. And then JT Dunn with a 38, Cruz with a 42, Gibson with a 52, Thatcher with a 38, and James Drake, surprisingly maybe, with a 45. So the heel team definitely a little bit better there than the face team. But the face team comes away with a win. Zach Gibson actually got the highest performance despite being really off his game, so that's good to see from him. He's definitely upper mid-card / main event caliber. We've just got to find the right storyline for him going forward. I'm just going to finish off the little feud that the Origin has going at the moment. Aulagero, if I can't remember if I've told you before, Aulagero is currently out injured. He had a broken arm, I believe, but it was only for like a month, and he's almost back. I think he gets back at the end of this week, so he will be available for the next show, theoretically. Strickland improving his performance skills, Eichner improving his technical skills, so two younger guys there, although they're all very young guys. Most of the Progress roster is. But good to see people like Eichner and Strickland improving their skills. Unfortunately, Leo Rush didn't improve anything. He's a guy I'm a big fan of. I think I've said before. We got him in to... he's just having a couple of exhibition matches at the moment, and then might sort of get into a feud or some storylines going forward. As we go into our next match, where in his return from injury, Damon Moser gets a shock victory over Travis Banks in 9 minutes and 39 by pinfall with a knee trembler, not a tree trembler, a knee trembler, following interference from TK Cooper. TK, of course, not happy with his former partner Travis Banks. He's cost him this match by distracting him and interfering during his match with Moser. Moser picks up the win, improving his technical skills of 42D, not too bad. And then, if we look after this, not the best segment, but TK Cooper stands tall over Travis Banks, who's on the floor. He does his signature, sort of almost Undertaker-esque taunt, where with the thumb across the throat and his tongue out, kicks Travis Banks and then leaves. So TK Cooper and Travis Banks now firmly split, and with that we are finally turning Travis Banks' face. Turn was a complete success. So Travis Banks and TK Cooper now set to feud into one of them leaving the company, which I think you know which one it's going to be, unfortunately. I think I've mentioned it a couple of times, and it's going to be fairly obvious which of the two I keep. And then following that match, a women's match went about that had decent wrestling but not a lot of heat. Bea Priestley defeated Martina the Session Moth in 8 minutes 39 seconds by pinfall. Martina debuting her gimmick above average party girl, as you'd expect. Priestley with a 26, not the great. Martina with an impressive 46 though, for a 41D overall. No worker improvements, but a solid match there. Keeps things going as we go into our next match, where Sami Callihan defeats Mikey Whiplash in 14 minutes 23 by pinfall the curb stomp. Unfortunately, they just didn't click very well. It showed in their performance. Whiplash with a 47, Callihan with a 45. I think that would have been a really good match in real life, to be honest. Again, no worker improvements, but a 49D plus is still good considering neither of their performances were that high. So I'm happy with that. And then following that, we have a little angle here where Trent Seven calls out Zack Saber Jr. for a singles match. Tyler Bate, he's in America, he's working with WWE. He's not here tonight to have a tag match alongside Trent. He calls out Zack Saber Jr. as Marty Scurll is also not here, and he says to Zack Saber Jr., you know what, you Marty Scurll, you're the number one contenders for our tag titles, but I'll do you a deal. We have a singles match tonight. If I win, then you do not get your title shot at Chapter 50, and you go back to the back of the line for a number one contendership. But if you win, then you and Marty get to pick the stipulation for the match at Chapter 50, title on the line. And Zack Sabre comes out, he accepts that challenge, and then in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Zack Sabre Jr. defeats Trent Seven in 12 minutes and 32 seconds by submission with a senior stretch. And surprisingly, against all the odds, during the match we had Marty Scurll run in. It says attack Zack Sabre Jr., that's wrong. He attacks Trent 7 during the match. Nobody thought he was here. He wasn't meant to be here, but he turns up out of the blue just as Trent 7 looks like he's about to pick up the win. Referee's down, distracted. Marty Scurll clocks him with an umbrella, and Saber Jr. gets the submission victory on Trent 7. Trent 7 with an in-ring performance of 38, Saber Jr. for 61. Trent 7 improving his technical skills, which is nice to see, and a very impressive rating of a 56C- as we go into our main event, where, in a superb match, Will Ospreay defeats Mark Haskins in 13 minutes and 39 seconds by pinfall with a 630 splash. So Will Ospreay, the aerial assassin, does what he said he would do, and he wins the Progress Super Strong Style 16 tournament for 2017 with an in-ring performance of 69 versus Haskins' 56. Somehow only gets a 57C- rating. I think it's probably to do with the commentary, which is very disappointing. But no work improvements there, but a 57C-. A very good main event match. As following that, Paul Robinson comes out, and him and Ospreay continue the beatdown on Mark Haskins. I think I actually had it set for Robinson to interrupt in that match against Haskins and Ospreay, and for some reason it didn't do it. Or it didn't say it did it, but I'm pretty sure Robinson was actually meant to attack Haskins there to help Ospreay pick up the win. But your new Super Strong Style 16 champion, Will Ospreay, he gets his match against Pete Dunne, or whoever the champion is, when he wants his match. It'll be interesting to see when he cashes that opportunity in. Whether he will do it in advance, whether he'll do it on the day, whether it will be Pete Dunne as champion, whether someone else will be champion. Nobody knows. Well, I don't know yet. But currently, Will Ospreay is effectively number one contender for the Progress Championship, but almost like a delayed number one contender. He's going to get a shot, we just don't know when yet, and we don't know how it will go down. But we end the show with, I think, our best show rating so far, a 55C-, increasing our popularity, improving our popularity in 45 regions. I think that's every region in the game. We look at that, the only rating below a 40 was that TK Cooper Travis Banks segment, which you kind of expect, because I think they're both lower mid-carders on this, which is maybe a little bit low for them in real life. You've got to say they're at least mid-carders, especially Travis. TK may be a little bit lower. He hasn't really had any singles matches other than, I believe, I know he had one at Super Strong Style last year in 2016. I don't know if he's had many since. Maybe Jack Sexsmith in a couple of matches. But a very, very good show there. As we're just going to go for Will Ospreay again. He's just the best every time, so he has to. Mark Haskins and Saber Jr. all going to get some praise. Everyone's pleased. It'll be very interesting to see how close we are now to going up a level, or whether we have done. We can't be too far now from thingy. Oh, and a little spoiler there. A little spoiler of who that new signing is. A little disappointed that I've given that away. But the new Progress Wrestling signing, fresh from the WWE, Austin frickin' Aries. Austin Aries has joined Progress, and you will see him debuting very, very soon. And I am very excited for what's ahead for him. You see here that we got a 1.01 TV rating. That's because I've just lowered the TV rating. We haven't just suddenly jumped up. I lowered the TV rating for a 1 is now 10,000 people rather than like 50,000 or whatever it was. So we got just over 10,000 people seeing that overall. So we've broken that 10,000 barrier. We're extremely close. We just need one more importance in Southern England to break into that regional level company. It's going to be... I'm very excited for when that's going to happen as well. You see, we have actually dropped one little popularity here in Southern England somehow. I don't know how we've done that, but we managed to drop one popularity at the start. Maybe just because we didn't have any shows, and it can't be long before we improve that now. As you see, we've improved in Japan by 3, we've improved in Central Europe by 2, we've improved in Australia and New Zealand by 5. As we look at Mexico, we've improved by 7 in northern Mexico, 5 in southeastern and west central. We've improved all over Canada, Ontario a little bit, a bit more in Maritimes and Quebec, 6 in Alberta, 7 in British Columbia. And you see, I did a little cheaty there. I gave us a little bit of popularity for the Orlando show, just because not everybody that went to the Orlando show in real life was a Progress fan. There were a lot of Americans going there for the first time, and it wasn't right for Progress to only have 2 or 3 popularity for that Orlando show. If it was any other show that they just decided to go to America for, I wouldn't have done it. But the fact that they were in that WrestleMania environment, I felt justified having that little bit of pop. So that's why that happened. Just explain that. And I put it straight back down afterwards to what it was before. But yeah, we're very, very close. We look at the popularity, very good popularity there across the board. Once we hit that regional level, we'll have more broadcasters available to us, and that'll be good to see. As we have a couple of people here upset of not being used. Pete Dunne's a little bit upset that he wasn't used on night 1 and night 3, but there was nothing for him to do, really. You see, I threw that match together on the second day, really, just for something for him to do, because all the main contenders for his championship were in the tournament. So I think that's all for now. Thank you guys for watching the finale of the Super Strong Style 16 tournament, and I will see you in the next episode for Chapter 50 of Progress Wrestling. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.